Tucker Carlson is one of the most watched news pundits on the net with a broad reach and an ever-growing audience. That being said, he has faced significant criticism for allegedly promoting anti-Semitic rhetoric, though he and his supporters deny these claims. Here's an overview of the arguments from both perspectives, followed by my thoughts on Tucker. Carlson's critics and their accusations against him for anti-Semitic leanings have been increasing since his ouster by Fox News Corp in 2023 over the Dominion lawsuit against the cable network for Carlson's reporting on the alleged discriminatory actions taken by the vote tabulating done in the 2020 presidential election. He has platformed controversial figures, such as can be seen in his interview with historian Darryl Cooper in September 2024. Cooper has been accused of downplaying the Holocaust. This prompted all 24 Jewish Democratic members and several conservative Republicans of the U.S. House of Representatives to issue a joint statement condemning the interview, labeling Cooper as a Nazi apologist and Holocaust denier. Carlson has also been criticized for echoing the Great Replacement theory, which suggests that elites are deliberately replacing white Americans with immigrants. The Anti-Defamation League has condemned Carlson for promoting this theory, stating that it has anti-Semitic underpinnings and has inspired acts of violence. Carlson's documentary, Hungry vs. Soros, The Fight for Civilization, was accused of promoting anti-Semitic tropes by targeting George Soros, a frequent subject of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. While I personally am no fan of Soros, the fact that he is Jewish should not give permission to others to lay blame on all Jews for one Jewish man's despicable behavior on the world stage. Abby Grossberg, a former producer for Carlson's show, alleged that the work environment was rife with sexism and anti-Semitism. She claimed that anti-Semitic images and comments were commonplace. This type of behavior has also been revealed by, quote, anonymous sources as well. While Carlson's critics have been many and seen a rise in numbers over the last 2 years, he does have defenders who detail their counter-arguments. Carlson and his supporters argue that his critiques are political rather than religious or ethnic. They assert that his discussions on topics like immigration, globalism, are policy-focused and not rooted in anti-Semitism. Carlson has expressed support for Israel, which some interpret as tepid and inconsistent with anti-Semitic beliefs. However, critics argue that support for Israel does not preclude anti-Semitic attitudes, especially if domestic Jewish communities are being targeted. Some of his defenders claim that Carlson is exercising his right to free speech by discussing controversial topics and that labeling his commentary as anti-Semitic is an attempt to silence dissenting opinions. While Tucker Carlson denies harboring anti-Semitic views, his platforming of controversial figures and promotion of theories with anti-Semitic associations have led to widespread criticism from Jewish organizations and lawmakers. Supporters will continue to argue that his commentary is political and falls within the bounds of free speech. The debate continues over whether his rhetoric crosses the line into anti-Semitism or remains within the realm of political discourse. My opinion? I have watched and listened to Tucker Carlson for years. From his time at the Weekly Standard as a political writer to his stint on CNN, when it was at least a fairly decent news outlet, right up to his years at Fox News before he was canned by Rupert Murdoch. In the past, I have always respected his political evolution over the earlier years. However, the jump from that of a moderate right-leaner to someone that has been moving gradually to some extremist views as it relates to the Middle East and Israel in particular, I find quite troubling. While he has never been a strong advocate for Israel or Jewish causes, he also was not overly anti-Semitic or a public hater of Jews. What he is like in his private life in that regard is a mystery to me, since I don't really know the man on that personal level. What I see of the public persona is the same that everyone else sees: a media pundit with a point of view that I sometimes agree with and many times do not. I don't dislike the man, but I don't really know him, so I can't really say if I like him or not. The jury is still out on that one. I really have no problem with him having guests on his show that are anti-Semitic or those who don't care much for Israel. I see that all the time on another show, very popular on the internet, called Redacted. They're no friends of Israel, but I appreciate their openness about it. Actually, I find it a bit refreshing that Carlson and others like him are willing to have these kinds of discussions and guests and have them on his platform, because it allows his viewers to see some of the Jew-hating rhetoric laid out bare to the bones for all to witness firsthand. And that is always a good thing. As the saying goes, the best disinfectant is exposure to the light. So too, the best cure for battling anti-Semitism is the light of truth shine on their lies and hypocrisy for all the world to see. Do I think Tucker Carlson is anti-Semitic? Well, his fence writing on this issue makes it difficult to pinpoint at this time. Do I think he is a Jew hater? I see no real evidence for that, so that moniker will not be pinned on him by me, at least not until he shows beyond any reasonable doubt for that to be the case. I'll continue keeping my eye open for that. Do I think he is no friend of Israel, America's #1 ally in this world? To that I must unequivocally say yes. Evidence is abundant that he is no friend of Israel. Therefore, on that, he and I would likely not be friends as well. That's it. I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments below on this important topic about Tucker Carlson. Please like, subscribe, and share. As the references I used will be listed in the description of this video or this essay, as well as all of my links to Shmu's Views, Locals, Substack, and Blogger. So until next time, beloved, I want to wish you shalom.